and die of breast cancer at much younger ages. So by the time you reach, it's very subtly stated here, American Cancer Society, women aged 45 to 49 years old should get mammograms every year. Well, when the American Cancer Society says that, insurance companies follow like it's the gospel. They set insurance guidelines. We're not going to pay for mammograms till you get to be 45. Many of our young black women never get to 45. They've already died of breast cancer. Now up here, this is the National Action Network preceding paragraph. You don't know that. It says women aged 40 to 44 years should have the choice to start annual breast cancer screening with mammograms if they wish to. They sent their top, the American Cancer Society, sent their top medical authority to negotiate with us, with me in particular, at Henry Ford Medical Center about raising those guidelines. They felt the impact, and we challenged the methodology in which they set the guidelines when they raised them. I say that because what you're doing is history making. You know, folks take as gospel the do-good charity industry's words. These are multi-billion-dollar operations. They make big money off the misery and deaths of Americans and other folks worldwide. And so we've got to always question whatever's bought, especially when it impacts a city like Detroit, which has suffered from neglect by the charity industry. No one else talks about the neglect. Oh, let's get a pretty pink outfit. Let's do Race for the Cure. Meanwhile, on the deep east side, west side, southwest side of Detroit, women are dying in silence. And all I'm saying is I just want to commend you for having this hearing. I would really encourage you to look at each in your capacity as a representative. You don't have to sit on the budget committee to impact the budgetary process, as you know. And you can literally challenge the legislative body of Michigan when it comes to the health care, especially where breast cancer is concerned, to make sure that urban Michigan is getting its fair share of the dollars. There's the old saying, early detection does save lives. That's a reality. And, you know, it's up to challenge what age the state of Michigan should require insurance companies to cover mammograms and other exams that result in early detection. There's too much blaming the victim. People living in poverty simply don't have access to health care. The state of Michigan needs to seriously consider funding mobile units to canvass the toughest neighborhoods, most poverty-stricken neighborhoods in Michigan, not waiting on those who are suffering in silence to come to them. The state of Michigan needs to take the resources to those women, to those individuals suffering in silence that may have contracted breast cancer, and then the state of Michigan can contribute to saving lives. I thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. And again, what you're doing is history making, because the people you represent, especially those living under the poverty guideline, the working poor, they need the help of the state of Michigan to save lives. You know, they can talk about fixing the damn roads, but how about saving some damn lives?
Ooh, nice line. Nice line.
I thank you for the opportunity to speak. Wish I could spend more time with you. We're available both at the state and national level to assist you in any way you deem. But the reason we picketed the American Cancer Society, forced them to bring their top medical authority into Michigan, is because they were neglecting the disparity in the death rate. They were neglecting the disparity in the treatment level or non-treatment level of those mired in poverty and black folks in particular. You know, I don't use terms like diversity, diversify this, diversify that, because it marginalizes our existence. We don't talk about minorities in Detroit, a city that's 85% black, because we are the majority. And it marginalizes the very existence of our people. But all I'm encouraging you to do is dig in, help get some of the resources to the people that are not organized, do not have a voice, that are voiceless. And you will help save lives. And again, I just thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Give him a round of applause. The American Cancer Society testified before my committee. I'm on regulatory reform, and I supported legislation that would ban vaporizers for minors. And the American Cancer Society opposed that because they wanted it to be taxed right. They were worried about the money aspect. It didn't matter that lives would be saved as this first step. And I ripped them apart in the committee because they didn't make any sense. They were saying this legislation that would ban vaporizers from kids is the cause of the catastrophe.